Hi, this is news. Meba Bawumia Akwa Addo latest and hot news Akwa Aremeyaw Bramo. Anuti so we now subscribe to the channel na for more say we subscribe to the channel. You be answer we click the subscribe button na we bell notification. We are sa video bia we upload no for the first person I was abeka a video. After we are like video and give us a thumbs up na fe. Shema Ato Forson na we be here na wo hu and some also afi yembura aye and sama abeto yepuno iti aye sa reporting about the Sammy iti Sammy.
To build this country, we will do it. Listen, me, I'm an old man. 68 I'm going, but I'm talking to you directly to the youth. This land is yours. You are inheriting the land from this generation, our passing generation, which has been, excuse me to say, irresponsible because we have not been able to leave you any legacy. Let me say this. I say this all the time, folks. Listen to this very, very carefully. The duty of every responsible generation is that whatever you inherit, whatever your generation inherits, you do two things. You improve it. You make it better so that you can hand over to the next generation something better than you inherited. That's it all. For every responsible generation, that's what you think about. What have we inherited? How do we build on what we have inherited? How do we leave a better inheritance for those who are coming? That's intelligent thinking. But we are in this country where we inherit something, and not only do we leave it at where we inherited it all, we damage it. We destroy our inheritance so that the next generation that is coming up will inherit something even weaker than what we inherited. No, that's the wrong way. You have to keep doing it better and better and better, so generations coming inherit a much better system as they go along. That is not what we have here. Folks, this is an angle I want to look at today. You know, because I think this generation, the leaders of this generation, we are one big disappointment. We do certain things that are ridiculous. I mean, if I was going to say it in English, it would sound like I'm insulting somebody. The fooling is too much. I like it better in Chi. There's too much fooling in this country, folks. And it hurts me because the youth that we are suffering to leave a legacy for, the children, our children's children, we are not putting anything in place substantial for them to come and inherit. The youth that are listening, we are leaving you a whole pile of debt. Do you know how much you owe now? We have left that debt for you, and we haven't left you any structures that you can actually exploit to help you pay the debt that we have left for you. So we are not doing you any good. So start thinking twice. Start thinking twice. So we have not left you anything tangible to inherit. And say, stop the fooling, folks. Stop the fooling. Listen, let me just give a quick example. Look at what happened. Why we are now, as we speak, folks, this country is in a constitutional crisis. Now, this is what I like about Ghana. We all go about and do what we are doing. You know, those who will have their government, the money have their government. Those who will have their, but those at the top who are supposed to make sure that things are running like clockwork, they are not. They are fooling. I was going to talk about Parliament right now and the constitutional crisis. Right now, as we speak, Parliament is on an indefinite suspension. Folks, are you aware? We are going about what we do normally. Because we are saying Ghana is so tough. You have no time to sit down and so you have to do what you have to do. But as we do what we have to do, as we talk right now, we are in a massive constitutional crisis. We don't have any parliament. It's indefinite. And watch what happened to Parliament. I think when Alagbabin announced that, as the Constitution states, any MP who decides to go independent has to vacate their seat according to the Constitution. Whether it's the 1992 Constitution or whether it's the party Constitution, it states that. So in accordance with the Constitution, Babin said, okay, then if you have switched your allegiances, then your seats are vacated.
Party switching or defection, therefore, can be seen as a breach of the mandate and social contract between the Member of Parliament and the electorate. These constitutional safeguards ensure that Members of Parliament remain accountable to both their parties and the electorate. Accordingly, I proceed to inform the House that by the notification of the polls, the following Members of Parliament have by their actions vacated their seats in Parliament. The resultant effect on the composition of this House would be that the NDC would have 136 seats, while the NPP would have 135 seats. That's making the NDC the majority party in Parliament.
And watch this, folks. Watch this. The majority leader, Afenyo Markins, in the fit of anger, and fury, decided that we are going to walk out of Parliament. The government decides, if you're not majority, we are boycotting Parliament, we are walking out of Parliament. And Honorable K.T. Hammond was so angry, he actually flung his papers across, and we are leaving. We are boycotting Parliament. I was watching this, I said, look at these small boys. You know, sometimes when kids are in secondary school, in the secondary school, Mumuko junior high and things. When our kids are in junior high and things and they are fooling, you say, and honestly, as I was watching the majority in Parliament, that's what I was saying. Say, in a fit of fury, you know you have airlines to fulfill. You know have so much duty in Parliament to perform. We say, Jai. Oh God, help us all. This is what I mean. Say, stop the fooling. Walking out of Parliament was just an act of fooling. Trying to show, say, yes, we are something. K.T. Hammond, we are something. And we have left the party. And saying, it is childish. Grow up, folks. Grow up, man. Let us run this country like we love this country. Let us run this country like Ghana means something to us. That's all we have, folks. That's all we have, folks. Most of you may know I lived abroad for a long time. Not one single day would pass that I didn't remember such a thing. I don't care the beauty here. I don't care the conveniences. I have a homeland somewhere. Ghana belongs to us, folks. Let's build this country intelligently. There are certain things as parliamentarians, MPs, members of parliament, government, whatever. There are certain things that you may want to do, but you stop once again and say, Ghana, just for the love of Ghana, let us rethink. So, fine, let's go on for that. You threw away the paper, then you stormed out of Parliament and went to your father's house. You know who your father is? Supreme Court. Whatever case you bring before them, prodigal son, Mumra, will take care of you. Let me switch for a second to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, I did a show and I said, you're the supreme authority of this country. I'm sure you saw that show. If you didn't, go back and look for it. You are our last point. No matter what the crisis we're going through, no matter what misunderstandings, no matter what aggravations, we have to have faith and hope in the confidence that we have a Supreme Court that we can go to that can bring peace and justice so that things will be calm. So it's very, very, very sad, my dear Supreme Court, that for whatever reason, you are now being known as the unanimous FC. You know what the reason is. It is very, very, very unfortunate. So we are all waiting. We are all waiting for whatever decision you come up with, and we'll move on. But in the meantime, I'm telling Ghanaians, Charlie, there is so much to do in this country. And some of us have decided that for whatever life that we have left, every inch of it will be committed to what we can do to help you, the youth out there, stand up and do the right thing. Because no matter what mess we are leaving, you are the ones going to inherit it. I'm sorry we haven't left you any tangible structures to inherit. We haven't. All we have left you with is a pool of unemployment and underemployment. That's what we have left you. We have left you with a system of, protocol. Back in the day, they took people to join the army who were fit and qualified. They went for interviews, they did their physical testing, they were fit and qualified. But they say there's something called protocol. We give all the handful amount of people to send to the army, then we give the chiefs amount of people to send to the army, we give the DCs, whatever. My goodness, we are sitting down beautifully crafting how best we can destroy this country. When you recruit people for the Ghana Army, Ghana Police Force, immigration, and you recruit anybody for the armed forces, your focus should be, I'm recruiting somebody that's patriotic, that is dynamic, that is principled, that wants to build this nation. Not somebody who doesn't even want to go to the army, but because their father is a DCE and belongs to this party, oh, come, we'll put you on the protocol list. Everything is protocol now. Even getting scholarships to go and study abroad, you have to find people to put you on some protocol list. Is that how we want to build this country? Folks, we are destroying this country. I like something very, very, I love what Professor Pimpong Boateng had to say right now. I guess in his opinion, what the state of the nation is. Take a look at this headline. He says it will take 30 years to bring Ghana's economy destroyed by Akufo Addo and Bawumia to recover. Well, that's his estimation. He says 30 years. I know some people who are very, very optimistic and say, oh, we can turn around in 10 years. Some people are even more optimistic and say we can do it in 5 years. Forget about how many years you think it will take to recover. The point is that we are in the pits as a nation. We are in the pits. That's all this headline is saying. You talk about how many years you think it will take you to recover, but the fact is that this nation is in the pits. People like us are frustrated because we have seen Ghana once before. Do you know this statement, the first shall be last? Or they say, yes, Ghana was number uno when it came to Africa. They say, the first is now the last. Because of too much fooling, folks. In Sehuna Dawson, we don't pay attention to the things that we need to correct to move this nation forward. I am hoping that after the election that we are going to go into, we're going to enter an era where all of Ghanaians will realize the fooling that we have been through, and all of Ghanaians will have the energy to say, Charlie, things must change and change drastically for our sakes. We don't have any choice than to make sure that things change so that this country can move on. If it can be let's go back to where we actually belonged. And the only painful thing is that now it has to be related to some kind of party. Actually, at this point, I want to play a clip for you. It's my good friend Mustafa Hamid. I've actually invited him to come on the KSM show, and I hope he does, because he's a brilliant guy, and we need to talk. I want you to see a clip of something he said when he was, I think he was then a spokesperson for Nana Addo when he was in opposition. Listen to Mustafa Hamid.
This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Wallahi, we must rescue this country. And I'm saying this too again today. Wallahi, we must rescue this country. I mean, he actually said that the presidency was depraved. The presidency had been murdered. Everything has been destroyed. Wallahi, we have to rescue this country. And the funny thing is that when he said it then, it was fantastic. But when I repeat that thing now, today, it has a different version. But wallahi, we must rescue this country. The whole system is out of order. When I say it now, it may be an issue. Because the system in Ghana is that you cannot look people in power in the face and tell them the truth. So when I say it now, KSM is an issue. But I want to go back to the same person, Mustafa Hamid, when he was talking about that problem in a different era. Listen to him again.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country, wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time.
There you have it. There you have it. And it's very, very interesting to know when he was saying these things and what I am repeating today. What difference does it make, folks? This country, no matter how you look at it, it must be rescued. And who is going to rescue the country? And that's why it's we are within 1 month away of what I think is the most consequential elections to take place in Ghana. The next election that we are going for. And it's so interesting that even as we prepare to go into our election, we go in a constitutional crisis where Parliament has been suspended and the Supreme Court is also keeping us on hold until we hear their decision. We will wait for the decision. I'll be very, very, very surprised if the decision comes out a certain way. But who knows? Let's wait for it and see. But folks, all I'm saying is this, that at this point that we are in, that we are in a constitutional crisis, we are still within 1 month away from a very, very major election. And I'm saying that it's a consequential election because this election, Ghana is now at the tipping point. We don't have a choice. We do not have a choice. Election is a choice. And whatever choice we make is going to decide where we tip. When we make the mistake and bringing the wrong person, we'll tip into chaos and anarchy. When we pick the right person, we're going to tip into prosperity. And they are all out there for you to decide who to tip. Whatever consequences come out of this election is who we as Ghanaians vote for or who wins the election. Let me just throw this by you, just a quick second. You know, Alan has been talking about transformation. Ghana needs to go through transformation, so he has a great transformational plan. I think Cheddar says he has industrial revolution for 16 regions and all of that, you know, and Mahama says he's going to reset the nation. You know, he says Ghana needs a reset, a rehabilitation of our thinking and everything. He calls it the reset. By the way, talking about reset, yeah, Charlie, stop the fooling, oh. I'm going to, let's put everything on hold for just a quick second, okay? I'm going to go to Kumasi to Wontumi Radio or TV, whatever, and just listen to what Wontumi, his definition of what Mahama means by Ghana needs to reset. Listen to this.
Ayi Mahama, na ya ode bayi, ade o kan ne say, I'm going to reset economy. Ya ka say resetter, o ti ase. Ase so oba be collapse all the economy no. So wo kra wo phone, na say a computer ayayi. Ah, wo dey adwuma sisi ano. Sa wo ka say wo reset sisi ayayi na. Bibia be free so. Bibia be free so. So Mahama is coming to collapse the economy. Mahama is coming to collapse free SHS. Mahama, oba no ba betwa akwan ahodoa Akufo Addo yenemu. Oba na janda 111 ya no. Waba betwam ani ade because onu ani manifesto no. Or say I'm coming to reset the economy.
Oh my goodness. you understand what I say? And this is not a small person. No. This man is a whole regional chairman. Did you hear what he's saying about what they need to reset the nation? This is about if you have a computer and reset it, it means you destroy all the information and put in one. So basically, when Mama says he's going to reset the nation, it means he's going to come and destroy everything. And then Mahama also, you look the people and tell them, when I come, I've come to destroy everything by resetting the nation. Anyway, let me put that aside. I just wanted you to get a feel of what I mean by, let's stop this fooling, man. Whichever party you belong to, let's concentrate on nation building. Okay? Let's concentrate on nation building. From Boateng, who, by the way, was a very, very active, powerful member of the NPP, has come out to give this statement. And so this cannot be considered a partisan angle. He is thinking of the nation. And he says that the depth to which we have sunk, it will take so many years to help us all dig ourselves out of this hole. So I was talking about Annan says transformation, Mahama said resetting, Cheddar says 16, regional, industrial, whatever. And this is the problem. Where are we now? We are here now, folks. The sad truth, which will make people very angry. And I say this at the risk of making many people angry. But the sad truth is this: we are where we are because of 8 years of what we've had, the NPP. Nobody can question that. Look at where our debt level is. You put all the indices together and tell me if I'm wrong. We are where we are because of things not going well at all. Okay? And today, as I talk to you, today, I hear that the dollar is almost 17 plus. And this is my point too. The reason why I have a problem understanding Bawumia's message and why I have a problem with the NPP confidence that they are going to break the 8 and come back, and ask, come back to what? To more of what you have experienced? I just want to take a quick second to listen to Nanado and why he chose Bawumia as his running mate. Listen to this. I don't see one year give you faso. What was it that said to maybe Muswa Unya faso? Because Sikano Emunyedu. Namonia Juma Kessia Babaye. The Babet said Selonia be Celia Emu do na one in Jano, Unya faso. What did they say to Muswa Unya faso? Tróuble tina me kofa Bawumia so be come home ye hihye ye sika sam no eyie na sika no e munye dubio Getrude adwuma ne You heard him. Or see deny ha ha ha, which means that the cedi didn't have any value. It was such a lightweight. I think the exchange rate was then about 3 or 4 cedis to the dollar. Sidney, ha ha ha, and that is what is bringing in Bawumia to fix it as his vice president. And he came in. And today, as we speak, the cedi has shot from 4 to 17. Somebody actually told me he got this for 17.15. Wow. Can you imagine the impact it has on killing businesses? Importers who have to import on taking out cedis to do their business. Can you imagine the impact? So I have every right under the sun to say, really? The NPP is still an option? And hey, me, I'm for free and fair elections, so let me say that now and set the record straight before we go ahead. I am for free and fair election where every vote has counted, every legitimate vote has counted. And folks, if at the end of the day, every legitimate vote has been counted, the election has been free and fair, and Ghanaians have elected Bawumia, so be it. I will support whoever this nation brings into power, so be it. So I want you to understand that so long as it's free, fair, transparent, legitimate, every vote has counted, and Bawumia has won, what problem do I have with it? But I'm saying it is very difficult for me now to think of where Ghana is now, the depths to which we have sunk now, that you know, that I know, and to say that no matter where we are now, forever the reason we are where we are now, the best thing still left for this country is another 4 years plus. No, it doesn't work like that. But if the election, free, fair, and transparent, that's the result, fine. But no. So I'm telling Ghanaians that, look, where we have sunk is so low. We have a chance to go for the election and make sure that never again should any government party be allowed to sink Ghana to these depths. Never again should we allow anybody in power to establish a protocol list that affects the army, affects education, that affects the judiciary. Never again. It is not working for us. This is what has brought us to this level. And the least thing we can be looking for is how do we rise from this level and not go back to the same system that brought us where we are. And that's the truth that I want to say today. So folks, that's it. That's been Talk Shop. And I know clearly the kind of backlash that I'll get, but it doesn't bother me one bit. I've spoken the truth, and truth crushed to earth shall rise again. I don't care where we have to go, but there must be a change. And the change must be backed with the determination, say, that as a nation, we must stop fooling. Charlie, serious change, yo. Some of us, people may not like what we are saying. That's okay. But so long as you are interested in what we are saying, I promise you that we will never stop saying what we need to say. We need a serious change full of vim and fire to overturn things and run like there's no tomorrow. Finally, and I'm done. When Addo was sworn in and he had so many ministers, and they asked him why so many ministers, he said, I am in a hurry. In a hurry to build a nation.
You've heard me say on a number of occasions, I'm a man in a hurry. I'm a man in a hurry. I'm a man in a hurry.
Amen. So whoever is coming in, please, you are coming in a hurry. There's too much work to be done. Okay, folks, I've said all that I can. But just to wrap up, I usually go on my walks every morning. And I was very, very, very proud when I met two young men, like my children. And they came up to me and they said, KSM, we have always wanted to meet you and just say thank you. I like the fact that you are opening our eyes and our minds. He says, I don't miss your program because every time I listen, I get a nugget for myself that I keep to help me carry myself in this country. So folks, that's all I'm looking for. Just one person. If one person is enlightened because of what we are doing here, our job is done. That's all we're looking at.
Yo, it for winning and summer abeto yapno so because GCU so and our hello. So we subscribe ya. Omori say over subscribe to the channel. Since I have here latest and hot news and Aremeyaw promo. Afenyo Annan will like video give us a thumbs up. Nothing. Share my Ato Forson now. We may be here now. And some more echoes. Ewo Ghana Mahamadu. Also get me otchere what Gyamfi and so we now ewo comment box me. In my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.